What's up, guys? We are back. Today we are going to do your 2022 February market report. The numbers just came in, so we're going to go over that. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. So basically, we're going to do a quick overview, and then if you want to hang on, stay on. We're going to go over I'm going to share my notes with you guys. We're going to go over interest rates. We're going to go over some inflation stuff. So we'll do a quick run through, and then if you want to stay on, we got some good stuff to look at today. All right, so let me go ahead and pop over to, here we go. All right, here are the numbers. As you can see, the market is still hot. Residential's up 18%. This is from comparing numbers from a year ago, year to date. Condos are up 26%. And we are seeing this on the ground as well. I mean, it's not easy, man. If a nice condo or a nice house comes on the market, we got to jump in line and fight for our clients to get in the first position. Because, let's say if your client is financed, then there's often going to be a cash buyer or two trying to beat you out. So you got to, come in with solid terms. Maybe you take out your appraisal contingency. Every deal's different, but I gotta say, we've never had to hustle this hard for clients, and it's what it takes in this market to get in that first position. Let's see, what else can we look on here? Days on market are down on condos 39%. Same thing with houses. The number of closed sales is up 34% with condos. Residential's down, but that's mainly because there's less inventory. Sales volume on condos is up 66%. It's about the same with residential. So, pending sales are down on both categories, but I think it goes back to inventory. So market is hot. As far as where we're going, real quick, I want to show you land. As you can see on this chart, you can see land's up 45%. So even more than the other categories. There is no question about the amount of demand for Maui real estate. It is way up, and a lot of competition out there right now. It's definitely a seller's market. But as we're going to talk about later, interest rates are low, but they are going up. So we're going to cover that today. Next, wanted to show you guys, see, like Zillow. A lot of people, I've been listening to a lot of different experts out there, different points of view. Zillow, Redfin CEOs are all these guys are, they're in the loop. They're all calling for another good year. Even with interest rates going up, Zillow's saying 16%. That seems to be the consensus that, this market is not going to slow down anytime soon. There's a real demand issue across the country, especially on Maui. So that's the basic stuff. That's basically the main stuff I wanted to cover. Now we're going to kind of dig into more detailed stuff. So if you want to just get the basics on the Maui market, that was it. I'll put links below if you want more info on all this. So now we're going to kind of jump into more detailed stuff and kind of fun stuff I think is fun. So here, just to start off with, I thought it'd be fun to look at lumber prices. Now these are all over the place. If you look at April last year, it peaked. This is just a commodity chart. So it peaked at $1,600 per. I'm not sure what this is per ton. This little drop. This is kind of interesting. If you look right here, you see it dropped quite a bit and now it jumped back up again. This is these lumber prices are really affecting the real estate market because. Just for example, my own brother bought land in California and wants to build a house, but he's really stressing about these prices because he bought I think he actually bought right around here, but then it jumped up again. So it's kind of scary for builders to kind of plan for the future when you see commodities like this going all over the place. So something to keep an eye on. Now, just a little plug for our website, mauiproperty.com. This is an awesome website. If you're not already on here, we have a ton of info, especially on the buyers info, sellers pages. If you scroll down, we have so many different subjects covered. Some of these pages even have videos where we explain them. So just a little plug for us. Feel free to check us out, mauiproperty.com. All right. Interest rates. Let's talk interest rates because this is something that is very new. Let's jump to the good stuff where you actually get to see the rates. I just pulled this up for today. Look at this. The average interest rate is 3.9%. Last week it was 3.6%. So this thing is moving fast, guys. If you want to see this in a chart, not that chart. I had a more detailed chart. Here we go. This is since 2017. You can see where interest rates were dropping. They rock bottom December of 2020, and they've been staying low. But look at this little jump right here. So interest rates are going up, and if you look at historically, this chart is showing you going way back, way back. Interest rates peaked in the 80s around 16% and have just plummeted. Look at that drop, and now we're way down here. So there's a lot of room to move when it comes to interest rates. This chart here is showing how in the 80s, so you can see the correlation here. This is the Fed fund rate, but you can see how there's nowhere for them to go other than start paying you to take money. And so, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So, which leads me to the next thing I wanted to show you. So we covered interest rates. This is your current rate, 3.9%. This thing is moving. So if you have any clients or you yourself are going to be doing a deal soon, make sure you lock in your rate as soon as possible. Okay, now we're going to switch to inflation. This chart here is showing historic inflation, and don't pay attention to this little bar because that's just this year. Look at last year, 7%. This is going back the last 20 years. There's nothing even close to 7%, and a lot of people are saying this 7% is maybe not so accurate. It could be a lot higher than that. I mean, is there anything in your world that has not gone up in price in the last couple of years? Probably not. Even if you look at last 30 years, you can still see how last year was a total anomaly. So you're probably wondering, well, what does that mean for me, and how does that relate to real estate? Well, what's kind of nice for those of us in the real estate market is that real estate historically is a very safe place to have your money during times of heavy inflation. And then you're probably wondering what's maybe historically a bad place to be. Stock market. Stock market historically does not do well in times of inflation. And, I guess like blue chip type stocks tend to do make it through the storm much better, as you would imagine. But this is just for entertainment value. I'm definitely not a stock, not someone to talk about stocks. All right. I found this website. The link is below. Watch this. This website is super cool. I'm a visual person, so one dot represents $1 billion. This is showing us how much debt our government has accumulated. This website is incredible. If you jump through here, they have different dots showing, okay, what one dot represents $1 billion. What is the deficit the U.S. is in right now? What's causing this inflation? So if you look at debt over time, our government debt has just skyrocketed since 2019, since the pandemic. But what's interesting is you see a lot of indicators showing it wasn't the pandemic. If you look at, I have a few more graphs to show you. Look at this. This is a really interesting thing to compare. So we're comparing the national debt versus gross domestic product. So that's the main, marker of what is the U.S. economy doing and what's its worth. So if you look historically, there's this really pretty, pairing, almost parallel lines running between all this stuff. And then imagine that. Right about 2007, when everything started falling apart, we see things getting all crazy. And if you look at the numbers, you can see that the GDP, like see right here, GDP is 16 trillion, federal debt 16 trillion. Right there is where you start to see where GDP is, and look at federal debt. See, federal debt's always been less than GDP, always. There's never been a time, just not until recently, that GDP was less than the federal debt. So watch this. Watch these numbers on the screen. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe I need to zoom in. Let me zoom in for you guys. All right. Watch these numbers. And right about here in 2013, we start to see the federal debt creep over the line. And then just they kind of hover right around the same area. See, 18, 19, 20, 19, 20, federal debt, you know, trillion over, but not too bad. They're trying to keep it all the same. And then watch this. Bam, takes off. GDP stays in the 20s, and federal debt skyrockets. This has never happened before, guys. The federal government owes more money than they can afford to pay off. This is it's not my own analysis. Like, I've been studying this for 10 days. I've been watching a lot of videos, people analyzing this stuff. So the question is, let's see, how are they going to get out of this, and how do you get away from this? So it sounds like inflation is pretty much their only viable option, is to inflate their way out of this mess, because they owe so much money and they can't effectively pay it off. So there's a good chance we're just getting started with this inflation. We could see potential runaway inflation, and it seems like they kind of want this to happen. That's how they can get out of this hole, because they owe so much money, almost $30 trillion. So how can you benefit by tracking this? And if you want to place a bet on, okay, we're going to have a lot of inflation, where should you put your money? What's kind of cool for us in this business is real estate is a great place to put your money. Rents, you know, as everything inflates, pay should go up, rents go up, and real estate kind of just moves with the inflation. So yeah, that's all I got for you today. I think I covered all my slides I wanted to show you guys. This is the same stuff. I'll put links to this if you want to check it out some more. But yeah, just to review, we got interest rates are moving up, and should be interesting to see what happens. You know, we've got but the bottom line is, market's still moving. We were seeing great forecasts for real estate through the end of the year, and you see a lot of investors buying real estate right now. Companies like BlackRock, that people that seem to have insider info are buying up real estate. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, my price has gone up. I'm gonna wait till it goes down again." Well, in times of inflation, you don't really see real estate going down. You might see stock market just totally implode on itself, but real estate holds strong. So these are things to be talking about and discussing. I don't have a crystal ball, but I like looking at all these numbers. I like listening to different experts, and I'm here to share it with you. So you guys have a fantastic day. Once again, Maui market is moving, looking really good, and values are still coming up. But, you know, honestly, we'd like to see things kind of level off again. We'd all be fine with that. You know, these big jumps in prices, it doesn't seem very sustainable. But man, I mean, we just keep seeing people move here, and rental market here is crazy. It's very difficult to find a rental. I hear a lot of people saying, you know, I'd rather not buy anything right now, but I literally cannot find a place to live. I was talking to a doctor the other day that when he bought a practice here, and he could not find a place to live, and he considered living in his car. He found a rental in Kihei, and he's like living in someone's house, like renting a room. So, you know, that's just a sign of the times. It is super difficult to find rentals, so people are just, you know, willing to pay the money and buy something. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate you hearing me out on this, and you know, I try to keep these as entertaining and educational as possible. If you have any questions or want to see stuff in the future, let me know. I'm starting to do these more regularly, and I do like doing the live videos because I turn it off and I'm done. So you guys have a great day. It's Aloha Friday here. It is February 11th, and you're probably watching this a few days down. This you know, will only be relevant for so long, but that's fine. You have a great weekend. I'm hopefully going to get out and see some whales this weekend is my plan, and that's about it. You guys have a good one. Aloha. If I can just figure out how to turn this off. Whoops. Here we go. Found the button. You guys take care.